Welcome to the Technical Writing Success Podcast from Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. This is episode 156. I'm Fred, and with me as always is the brilliant Daphne.
Hello, great to be here.
Today we're going to get into a really interesting article from our producer, Robbins. He just published it on LinkedIn. It's called Video Conferencing Tools Compared.
It's so timely. I mean, this space is just incredibly competitive now. It's not as simple as it used to be, and Kurt's piece really cuts through the noise.
It really does. And I think his main point is that these tools aren't just for meetings anymore. They've evolved.
Exactly. He calls them intelligent collaboration platforms. It's all about AI, persistent chat, and how deeply they hook into the other software you use every day.
Right. So choosing one isn't just about video quality anymore. He says you have to match it to your company's digital DNA.
A great way to put it. It's about your workflows, your security needs, everything.
Okay, so let's walk through the 6 big ones he analyzed. We've got Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Webex, GoTo Meeting, and Zoho Meeting. Yeah. And he groups them, which is helpful. So let's start with the first group he calls the ecosystem titans.
Yes, the titans. Google Meet and Microsoft Teams. And for most big companies, this choice is kind of already made for them, depending on if they're a Google Workspace shop or a Microsoft 365 shop.
But their whole approach, their philosophy, is completely different.
Polar opposites, really.
So let's start with Google Meet. It's all about being lightweight, browser first, built for speed.
And that's its superpower. Its greatest strength is just how accessible it is. Anyone with a browser can join, no mandatory app download. For a technical writer who has to meet with external clients, that is a huge, huge plus.
It just removes a barrier to entry?
A big one.
Yeah.
And of course, the integration with Google Calendar and Gmail is just seamless.
The feature that really stood out to me in the article was the AI-driven, real-time translated captions.
Oh, it's a game changer.
For global teams, that's just incredible.
Yeah. It is. But there's a trade-off. Meet is a pure meeting tool. It's not a central hub. All the collaboration stuff, the chat, the files, it's all fragmented across Google Chat and Google Drive.
So your project documents aren't living in the same place as your meeting context.
Exactly. And that's where Microsoft Teams comes in with a completely different idea.
Right. Teams doesn't just want to host your meeting. It wants to be your entire office.
It's the central hub for the whole Microsoft 365 universe. The integration with Outlook, SharePoint, OneDrive. It's incredibly deep and powerful.
But the real difference for, say, a technical writer is what Kurt calls persistent collaboration. Can you unpack that a bit?
Sure. So in Teams, a team is more than just a chat group. It's a permanent workspace. Your meeting notes, your version-controlled files, the chat logs, everything lives together forever.
And it's all searchable.
Fully searchable.
Yeah.
For anyone managing documentation or institutional knowledge, it's basically an archiving dream. It automates so much of that tracking.
Plus, you've got the AI with Copilot, which can summarize meetings and draft follow-ups. That really changes the job.
It does. It shifts the work from, just taking notes to verifying what the AI produced. You become the editor and the strategist. But all that power comes at a cost.
Complexity.
Yeah, exactly. Firing up the heavy Teams desktop app for a quick 15-minute call can feel like overkill. And the interface with all the channels and features can be pretty overwhelming for new users.
Which is a perfect segue to the next category, the video-first giants.
Right. These are the platforms that built their reputation on just delivering really solid, reliable video. We're talking about Webex and, of course, Zoom.
Let's start with Webex by Cisco, the veteran of the group.
It is. And its identity is all about enterprise-grade security and reliability. They come from a hardware background, so their integration with conference room equipment is second to none. The platform meets really strict federal standards for handling sensitive data. So if you work in government, finance, or any highly regulated industry, a tool like Webex isn't just a nice-to-have, it's often a requirement.
So it's built for that high-stakes environment.
Yeah.
But the article also notes the interface can feel a bit corporate, a little less nimble.
It can. It's fighting that legacy tool perception, which is exactly the opening Zoom exploited.
Zoom, the household name.
Zoom just nailed the user experience. It prioritized a super simple, intuitive interface and video that, just works.
It really did. And it's platform agnostic, works great whether you're on a Mac or Windows. Plus, their free tier was really generous for a long time, and their webinar features are still the industry standard.
The security issues from the early days are largely fixed, according to the source. The problem now is, well, two things. First, there's the brand issue of Zoom fatigue. And second, they're now trying to build out their own ecosystem. Zoom Mail, Zoom Calendar, Zoom Docs.
Which just feels redundant if your whole company is already running on Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace.
It creates a real dilemma. You're suddenly managing two separate competing ecosystems. Do you really need that extra overhead?
It's a tough question.
Okay, before we get to the specialist challengers, let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Kurt Robbins.
Hi, this is Kurt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the Technical Writing Success Podcast.
All right, we've covered the titans and the giants. Now let's look at what Kurt calls the specialist challengers. These are GoTo Meeting and Zoho Meeting.
GoTo Meeting. I remember that one being really popular with sales and training professionals for a long time.
And that's still their sweet spot.
Yeah.
Their focus is on hosting flawless, high-quality webinars and meetings with external clients. It's all about stability and professional features.
So robust admin controls, great mobile apps.
But the trade-off is that it's not trying to be an internal collaboration hub like Teams. And the pricing reflects that professional use case. It's not really for casual internal chats.
Which brings us to the last one, Zoho Meeting.
The value player.
Right, the budget-friendly option that's part of the bigger Zoho One suite.
Value is the key word. It's affordable. And the free tier is actually better than Zoom's now 60-minute meetings versus 40. It's simple, secure, browser-based.
And for a technical writer in a company that already uses Zoho CRM or their other tools.
The integration is the big seller. Your meeting data flows right into your business processes. No manual data entry. It's incredibly efficient if you're already in that ecosystem.
But the catch, according to the article, is that it lacks the polish and the advanced AI features of the big three.
Right. It's a reliable workhorse, not a futuristic race car. You choose it for value and integration, not for cutting-edge innovation.
That covers all six. Now, there's a specific technical writer's pro tip from Kurt in the article that I think is essential.
Oh, yes. The resolution reality.
Tell us about it.
It's simple but critical. All six of these tools max out at 1080p resolution for video streaming.
So that expensive 4K webcam you've been eyeing.
Don't buy it. The platform can't even use the extra resolution. You are much better off saving that money for a second monitor, which is actually useful for a technical writer.
That is fantastic advice. But there's a catch, isn't there?
There is. That 1080p resolution is almost always restricted to paid accounts. The free tiers really cripple the video quality.
How bad is it?
Zoom's free tier can default to 360p. And if you're trying to share your screen to show code or a detailed diagram, 360p is basically unusable.
So for anyone creating documentation or training videos from these meetings, you have to factor in the cost of a paid plan. It's not optional.
It's a fundamental requirement for clear documentation.
So wrapping this all up, the big takeaway here is that this whole landscape is shifting. It's moving toward these powerful AI-driven hubs.
It really is.
So if these tools are getting smarter, if AI is handling the basic summaries and transcriptions, the value of the human writer has to change too.
It shifts the focus. It's less about what was said and more about synthesizing why it matters and connecting it to everything else.
Which leaves a pretty big question for you, our listener, to think about.
If AI takes over the mechanical work of summarizing meetings, what is the one critical skill you need to develop right now to guarantee your value in this new world?
Something to think about.
For sure.
Thank you for listening to the Technical Writing Success Podcast from Kurt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.